As the majestic movement reached its culmination, a shockwave shudders through Jada's body, and then panic. A look of abject terror washed over her face.
Okay, what is up, everybody? We are back for the final episode of Best Shape of My Life. At least I think it's the final episode. It's the last one that came out, and it seems like it's the last one. So this is episode 6. If you are looking for my reaction for any of the other episodes, go down in the description of this video. Again, my name is Schuyler Diehm. I'm a men's lifestyle fat loss coach, and I had a lot of things to say about how Will went about this. You can check out the old videos for that. But it looks like we are wrapping this show up. And hopefully I can give some good commentary and good thoughts along the way. So let's get into it. Love that.
The chapter is called Mutiny. With My Hair was a platinum global record. Willow was 9 years old and had landed a 30-day European tour. Wow. Little girls around the world were whipping their hair.
9, man.
The iron was hot, and it was time to strike. One night, Willow comes off stage in full post-performance bliss and jumps into my arms. I'm finished, Daddy. I'm ready to go home. Well, you can't be finished, sweetie. You just started. You have a few more weeks to go. It doesn't matter to you that I'm done, Daddy? Willow said. Well, of course it matters, baby, but you can't be done. You can't be finished until you complete what you promised to do.
I can't even imagine, man, the psychological stress of a 9-year-old.
No. Very, very not exciting. It's not exciting at all to read the chapters about my kids, to my kids.
I woke up the next morning rested, a proud father ready to continue the Smith family conquest. Good morning, Daddy, Willow said so joyfully as she bounced to the refrigerator. My jaw nearly dislodged and shattered on the kitchen floor.
It's too much. He just thinks it's not people's business.
During the night, Willow had shaved her entire head, totally bald. I had become a version of exactly what I was running away from.
Okay.
$202 flat would be on schedule. Is that correct, Mr. Ferguson?
Yep, 202.
Your expert opinion, Mr. Ferguson, does that have anything to do with my age or more to do with my food selection?
I think it's got a little bit to do with your brain.
My brain, right.
Yeah.
Mr. Ferguson, are you a brain specialist?
No.
No.
Let's go to another document.
I think we achieved a lot over here. But he was divided between the two projects, obviously. And I think he's really starting to feel the pressure of the pending deadline.
We came to Dubai, writing my book, breaking this weight. Now we head to Miami.
Landed in Miami, son, for the first time in 2 years. Bienvenido a Miami, let's get it!
What do you think the chances of Will showing up today are?
Oh, pretty minimal. Yeah, he's done. He's over working on this aspect. He's working on the book.
He's working on his book.
Yeah.
Head on, take one, Mark.
I think any time a person has had conflicts with their own parents, the mistake we often make is to commit ourselves to not make any of the mistakes that our parents made.
Is your other son here? Did he roll up yet?
You're the only responsible child I have.
By revealing his inner thoughts during key moments of his life to his children, Will is likely looking for understanding for what he views as mistakes or errors.
My beanie! This is the first time that y'all are gonna hear what I said about you in my book.
I'm so excited.
Bring it together. Sign up for something. Do you think we'll have notes?
Yes. Willow's gonna have the most. Jaden's gonna have the next. Trey's gonna not have any notes, but he's gonna think I shouldn't put the book out.
This is so weird. This is so weird.
I'm excited to hear all the stories and whatnot.
All my kids made it. All my kids made it.
He's going to a new lane, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm just excited to see the new universe.
Thank you all for being here. a big part of me wanting to do this, is to kind of give you a better sense of some of the decisions that I made and even understanding the origin of some of the horrific errors that, I made during your childhood.
They're all like,
there's
yeah.
things in here you
Yeah.
have heard before,
Please
and there's
explain
some things
those.
that you haven't heard. I've worked hard to just be really honest, and anything you don't like, you guys don't want to share, we'll change it, we'll take it out. Nothing's going in that you guys don't love. Jada and I were in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. It was one of our favorite hideaways. We rented a beautiful hacienda in the hills. We spent a raucous evening in the company of our dear friend, Jose Cuervo. Jada was on top of me, and the sweet crescendo simultaneously crept upon us. As the majestic movement reached its culmination, a shockwave shudders through Jada's body, and then panic. A look of abject terror washed over her face. "I'm pregnant," she said.
Sorry.
What? Babe, I'm no fertility expert. I said, "I'm pretty sure they're not even finished swimming yet." Jaden Christopher Sire Smith was born on July 1990.
Oh, that's awesome.
Willard Carroll Smith III was born on November 11th, 1992. We called him Trey, since he was the third Willard Smith. My body was quaking, overwhelmed with the immensity of the responsibility to this tiny human life. I fell to my knees, sobbing uncontrollably, praying to God, "Please help me do it right. Please help me be a good daddy." My mind swerved and careened like a drone through my childhood. I had talked so much shit about Daddy-O. Now here I was. Would I be smart enough to orchestrate the building of a wall for my son? Could I put food on the table and keep the lights on without fail? It's 3 a.m. I'm on my knees. I'm just a little boy. I never wanted my daddy so bad. And then, damn. And then something clicked, deep in a place where nothing had ever clicked before. A decision, an ironclad conviction. I wiped my tears, I stood up, I gently touched Trey's head, and I knew there were only two possibilities. One, I was going to be the best father the planet had ever seen, or two, I was going to be dead.
Dude.
The shooting of After Earth was a magical bond experience for Jaden and me. He was fresh into his teens. The mythological timing was perfect. I had succeeded in illustrating the depth of my care and concern. But the father and son honeymoon was short-lived. After Earth was an abysmal box office and critical failure. And what was worse was that Jaden took the hit.
I don't even remember
Jaden
that
had
movie.
faithfully done everything I'd instructed him to do. That's why I wasn't going to do this part tonight. Jaden had faithfully done everything I had instructed him to do, and I had coached him into the worst public mauling he'd ever experienced. We never discussed it, but I sensed that he felt betrayed, and he lost his trust in my leadership. But at 15 years old, when Jaden asked to be an emancipated minor, my heart shattered. He ultimately decided against it. But it became clear to me that you can either worry about how people feel or you can win. Pick one.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It was so beautiful. It was an amazing time. Like, I loved every part about it, and like how people responded to it just goes to show like just the volatility of the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's something we never talked about. After Earth was the beginning of working on our relationship and our connection, and that's what I got out of it, and that's all I needed to get out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I felt about it.
That's beautiful.
After I got that coming to
But
you.
yeah. Oh, Jesus.
That's beautiful. It was written perfectly. That was written perfectly.
My world-dominating, hair-whipping global superstar was totally bald. But before I could respond, I felt something slowly turning, shifting until it clicked into place. In a moment of divine connection and revelation, she had reached me. "It doesn't matter to you that I'm done, Daddy." I know it sounds crazy, but Willow's question put a Liberty Bell-sized crack in my worldview. It was just an innocent question from a daughter to her father, but somehow I knew it was more than that. What she was really asking me was, "Don't you care how I feel?" It was the deepest existential human question. It may be the most important question that we as humans ask of each other. I was shaken. I leaned down, peered deeply into her eyes and said, "I got it. I am sorry. Are you ready to go home?" And as strange as it may sound, in that moment, I discovered feelings. I started to see feelings everywhere. People get furious, excited, frustrated, hopeful, hopeless, disappointed, fearful, embarrassed. Everybody's caught in their feelings, making all their decisions all the time based only on how they feel. Even my aversion to feelings is based on how I feel about feelings. I felt like Christopher Columbus, who had discovered this new place that people was already at. Nobody gives a shit about anything except how they feel. I began to experiment with my parenting by reassessing my relationships with my children in terms of my care and concern for their feelings. I began to be able to perceive emotional injuries of their childhoods. Trey had gotten the most ignorant version of my parenting. Jaden had got Will Dad 2.0, which was a slight upgrade. And even though Willow had had to shave her head, she had stopped me before her point of no return.
One of Will's core conflicts clearly comes from his relationship with his father. And the only way that Will can let go of some of those chains of the past is to recognize that he's not his father, but rather he's taking away the parts of his father that speak to him and using those to inform his career and his life.
Daddy-O knew he was dying. I came to see him every week. One night, as I delicately wheeled him from his bedroom toward the bathroom, a darkness arose within me. The path between the two rooms goes past the top of the stairs. I could shove him down and easily get away with it. I'm Will Smith. No one would ever believe I killed my father on purpose. As a child, I'd always told myself that I would one day avenge my mother. As the decades of pain and anger and resentment coursed, then receded, I shook my head and proceeded to wheel Daddy-O to the bathroom.
Wow.
Hey, Dad, I said nervously.
Okay.
You did good. He took a pull off his Tarrant 100, turned his eyes back to the TV. He didn't seem like he was ready to go there just yet, but I was. I'm saying you did a great job with your life. And when you're ready to go, I want you to know that it's okay. You raised me well, and I got it from here. I'm gonna take care of everybody you love. Daddy-O nodded his head, his eyes welled. The soldier was gone.
Looking back at this time when your kids were growing up, is there anything that you wish you had done differently?
Oh, so this is old footage.
Well, that's a tough one.
Wow.
There's things that I regret doing the way that I didn't. I'm about to tear up myself on this.
Everything happens for a reason, man.
I really regret that on occasion, I would fly off the handle. And I wish I had that ability to give things more thought before reacting. Damn, I gotta take a break on that one myself.
Wow.
What Daddy-O knew in his final moments is that you must give it to receive it. Daddy-O had poured all of his gifts into me, and at the end of his life, he saw that I had used them to build my life. He was fulfilled through his giving, and warts and all, he was content in how he had loved me. And then by the grace of a benevolent creator, in his final days, when he had nothing left, I was blessed to pour my gifts into him.
Wow, man.
You're a beautiful person. I just think it's
Oh,
you.
man.
I don't know.
Thank you. All right. Clap him in. I'm here with all my seeds. We just had a 4-hour session. I read them all the stuff. There's only one change, so that makes me feel really good.
That was amazing.
Do we have any real fans in the house today? Are y'all ready for the big homie? Please give it up for Will Smith! What is up, everybody? How you doing out there? Thank you guys so much for coming out. The last 2.5 years of my life putting this book together has really been eye-opening for me. It is such an honor to really take all of my experiences and deliver my life to you. So I just hope that there's something in there that you can find along your journey. All right, this is the cover of the book.
Yeah, that's dope, man. And the connection of Will and Will. You know, like he willed his way to where he is today. Wow.
Starting to run again. 2 weeks off, finishing up the book. The book's more exhausting than working out.
I'm happy for him. I don't think things went exactly as planned, but it's about peace of mind, isn't it? Like we're all trying to find that, I think. For me, I do it for sanity. I know that when I go for a run, I'm a better person. It's very grounding. And I think, what we got to accomplish during the time, I think he learned a lot. He's well on the way to maintaining that healthy, sustainable routine. Yeah, I think he did awesome. I'm really proud of him.
The only way to actually create balance is to have boundaries. Will, like any of us, is looking for something sustainable, something that could be about a lifelong commitment to his own sense of balance between body, mind, and soul.
You're out here solo today.
I don't consider you with me to be solo, Jazz.
Okay, well.
You are somebody. Repeat after me, Jazz. I am.
I am.
Somebody.
Somebody.
I am.
Okay, I am.
Somebody. There you go. All right. Peace.
Hey, see you, man. Big ups, good stuff.
He's back. He's back. Y'all saw that. Everyone saw that. I think he did 2 laps, not 3, but I don't know. Still awesome.
Pretty good?
Yeah, that's good.
That's you.
How difficult is it to balance the book and the fitness goals?
I had no idea. I was not prepared for the level of pain and drain that would be in this journey. Revisiting of trauma and relationships and all of that, like I had no idea how debilitating that would be. Human beings are creatures of narrative. I created the narrative of Will Smith, and then movie companies sell the narrative. A big part of it is true, but there's certain aspects of it that are avoided. At this point in my life, authenticity is much more powerful than mystery. This is me, y'all. This is me, y'all. It's not about the weight or the book as much as what it says about my mind. My mind is suffering and subject to the same appetites and desires and cravings and self-destructive behavior as everybody else. So that's a failure for this week. You don't bring a film crew and everything, Jazz, if you don't have everything set up. I'm finished with the best shape of my life. Everybody is trying to figure out how to be in this world. For the most part, I think we all move in and out of being loving and being unloving. God damn it! Being wise and being foolish. We're all toggling and moving back and forth between those ideas. And when we find ourselves in that most joyful, loving space where we're being compassionate and caring, our choices are going to be heroic.
Good for him, man.
All right, so I don't look bad, though. I don't feel like I look bad.
Let's go,
All right,
dude.
so here's my last 20. Sometimes achieving the actual goal earns you almost nothing, but the journey itself teaches you everything you need to know.
Let's go.
Season 2?
Yeah, we should just start season 2 right now.
Good stuff, man. Okay, so they didn't reveal the final weight for that lesson, right? The lesson of it's less about the outcome and more about the journey. I really enjoyed this series. You know, as I said in a few episodes, there were ways where I didn't think was necessary for him to go about things. But after kind of watching this episode and thinking about it, it's not just about losing the 20 pounds, right? Like the series is called Best Shape of My Life. And Will pretty much did get in that. Like the way I think about it is, if you guys have heard of the program 75 Hard, it's less about the weight lost and it's more about the mental toughness you build over those 75 days. 75-day challenge of specific things every single day. If you miss a day, you fail, you start over. And it's like, that's kind of the mentality here, right? Like, yes, he could have just done the fasting. He could have just done the one weight training session. He could have just made a couple smarter food choices and lost that weight and had done it more effective. But like they said in this episode, like he had to work through some emotional things and then also in the process work through some physical things. So really, really cool, man, being able to mentally, physically test yourself for 20 weeks. having that crew following you, having the ups, having the downs, realizing that no one is perfect. Everyone's going to have bad days on their journey. Like, there's a lot of gold life lessons in this series. So I'm really glad I watched it. I really, really am. And I appreciate you guys, anyone who watched it with me, anyone who was watching these videos. But with that being said, Will, I appreciate you, man. I'll be looking for season 2. If you are interested in learning what we do, you can check the link in the description of this video. It's going to walk through our specific fat loss system. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more awesome content. But with that being said, guys, remember, eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you next time.